So next thing I got to do is cut these port pieces out here, and with me being as big as I am, I need the width to get it inside out of the box of those port pieces not being there. So what I'm actually going to try and do is almost do this last layer as sort of a cover piece, and then have these other 3 layers bolt through this exterior wall to where it's solid as a rock when it's bolted in tight. And then when I need to load subs or remove subs or work on the inside or whatever, I can simply pull this front plate off, take out 4 bolts and then remove this right port piece and be able to get in and out pretty easy. So I've been working on the port piece. I made a original, used a flush trim bit to cut it out to make sure it was perfect since I don't have a table saw. And then I've been progressively stacking and then flush trimming off the first one to make sure they're all perfect. I need 5 in total. There's 3 here. The other ones aren't going to actually be attached on, but I'm still going to attach them down for the sake of flush trimming them out, make it a little easier. But side note, there's my little toolbox, and it's even got the little battery tray. Put some casters on a frame out of 2x4s I built, so now I've got sort of a moving tool chest, and I've been using it to cut the stuff out back here. Okay, so all the port pieces are cut. This is going to be the cover, which is why both sides are rounded over. I decided to go with 1 layer on the loading wall side because the loading wall is going to extend halfway through this piece, and making it twice as thick on the last 3 inches isn't going to do anything for me. So I just did a round over on both sides of the rear and a round over on the front of the side that'll face the loading wall. Okay, so here's the cover panel. We'll need to get bodywork to fill some little holes and stuff, but I decided to go with these spacks to hold the cover on. Once they're painted, I don't think they'll be too much of a eyesore, and I just didn't think if I did magnets, it would have enough shearing strength as far as the panel sliding forward and backwards. So I decided to go with that, and that'll just make for sure that it doesn't go anywhere, it doesn't make any weird noises. So got the left side of the port in. Let's get a nice little, put a little round over on it. So that's in there. Used the spare piece of wood I had and put a 45 back there that I had already had cut down to the same height as the box. And then just to make it a little clear, this is how the port is going to go in. See, the cover is going to go on top of this, and then you can see there's bolts that are inset so this piece can still lay flat, and then those bolts go through over here. Think about the next thing I'm going to do is retouch up the last bit of the Bondo, add in some silicone for some of the new stuff that was added, and then prep the front chamber for paint, and then kind of go from there and see what I need to do to get this thing closer to being done. Okay, so here's the box so far. Was doing a little more body work on the loading wall baffle, this port piece, as well as the 45 added in the rear corner. So got the left side of the port in. This is 6 inches, and then it's going to be 14 wide once this piece is in. Pretty much about to prep for paint. I just want to give a lot of it a little bit of a wipe down with something damp just to get any of the dust up. Okay, so got the first coat of paint down. Might be a little hard to see in there. Get the phone in here to adjust, but doing flat black on the front chamber for now. Like I said, it's the first coat, so you can see it's not completely down, or it's still getting soaked up by the MDF. You can see where it's still blue where it hasn't dried. But going flat black to sort of accent the white baskets and the motors being silver. So that's why I'm doing that. This port piece that attaches here and this are going to be the textured brown along with the front of the loading wall. But it'll probably take another coat or two just to make sure it's, you know, nice and thick and everything looks uniform, because I want to try and put LEDs in here. For me, it's not that big of a deal, but it'd look cool every once in a while. Probably put them on the rear of this port piece and then right inside this wall right here. But who knows, I might not do it. I might. Not really sure. So that's where we're at right now. Just waiting for some stuff to dry. And then I put a initial coat on this, which is the port piece. Again, just so when I spray the stuff on, it doesn't completely just soak through and I end up using, you know, $6 worth of paint just to get it to where it'll start taking paint, if that makes any sense. So doing that on there, and then other than that, right now I'm just playing the waiting game. So slow and steady, it's coming along.